Welcome back to badgerbeat.com, joined now by Tom Oates, the Wisconsin State Journal, here to give us his grades. Oates, let's start with the offense. You gave the offense a C+.
Well, it wasn't a stellar offensive performance by any means in the first half. First 5 series, the offense basically went nowhere. Scored a really critical touchdown late at the end of the first half on a long drive. Got it together pretty well in the second half. I don't think they ran the ball extremely well. I don't think they threw the ball extremely well, but they got the job done. They scored 21 points in the second half. I thought Joel Stave, threw some nice balls on both the touchdown passes were really nice balls. James White got it going in the second half. The Hawkeyes were clearly concentrating on stopping Melvin Gordon. They stopped the jet sweep. They stopped several of his runs, but James White came through in a big way, I think, with Melvin Gordon getting so much attention.
On the flip side, the defense, despite being shorthanded, played really well. You gave an A-.
Yeah, when you hold a Big Ten team to 3 field goals, that's just outstanding defensive football. I thought the defense was inspired. I thought it won in every phase. It stopped the run, it stopped the pass, it stopped big plays. They put some pressure on the quarterback. They only got maybe 1 sack, but on both turnovers, a hit on the quarterback was essential in forcing the turnover. Just an outstanding defensive performance. I know they had a couple of shutouts earlier in the year, but those were against Massachusetts and Tennessee Tech. This was, they held Iowa to without a touchdown, and that's a really good day's work.
Special teams earns a C-. It's a tough day out there with the wind. How did that factor into you?
Yeah, you didn't want to be Drew Meyer, I can tell you. He really struggled with punting. He had some balls that got up into the wind and just stopped. It was pretty strong. They tried to rugby punt a couple of times. One time he executed it well. One time he didn't. There were a couple of follies I thought on the return game, both of which the Badgers dodged a bullet because they didn't lose the ball and came very close to losing the ball both times on punt returns. As far as the kickers, you have to feel for Jack Russell. I have to say, he kicked a 54-yarder. It wasn't very high, but it sailed through the uprights, and only to find out Iowa had called a timeout. And then Iowa emptied the bank of timeouts and kept calling them, and he didn't make it when he finally did get to kick it just before the half. It could have been a big play. Credit him for making the first one. So you can't get too down on him. He's a young guy. He's never actually kicked a field goal in a game before. So to make it that first time, I thought was pretty impressive.
We had a debate up here at halftime on whether Gary Anderson should take the wind in the third quarter or the fourth. He ends up going against it in the third and taking it in the fourth. Turns out to be a smart move. You gave the UW coaches a B+ for this game.
Yeah, love the decision to take the wind in the fourth quarter, and I'll tell you why. I think this was a game that was going to be decided in the fourth quarter in many respects. It certainly looked like it would be decided in the fourth quarter, either by a field goal or maybe you would have to take the ball and drive the ball. Therefore, I thought the wind would help whichever team was behind in the fourth quarter of a close game. And therefore, Gary Anderson took the wind. I thought it was the correct decision. I thought even though Wisconsin didn't really need it, it helped Wisconsin to have that win. That was like having something in the back pocket. The other thing I mentioned was loved the throwback screen, set up a touchdown, just a great play. Took advantage of Iowa's aggressive front seven all day, and really fooled Iowa and set up a touchdown for Wisconsin. Just a terrific play call at the right time.
Badgers are bowl eligible. They win by almost 3 touchdowns here at Kinnick Stadium, which is a rare feat for this UW program. Overall, you give them a B+ for this win.
Really difficult place to play. And Iowa had a down season last year. They've come back really strong. I think it's a good team. It's particularly a very good defensive team, very highly ranked in the NCAA. They gave Wisconsin fits. I think the crowd was charged up. you know, historically, Wisconsin struggles in this stadium. It's a great home field advantage. I think one of the best home field advantages in the Big Ten. And to come in here and put it on an Iowa team and not even go down to the wire at the end of the game, I thought was a very impressive victory by Wisconsin. Probably their most impressive victory of the season.